find a room to rent in a shared home on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or whatever, is the fact that people clearly just want the money from the rental income from a tenant, but don't actually want to accept that somebody else lives in the house with them. Like allowing no kitchen access, no visitors, just unnecessary rules that don't make sense when someone is paying to live there.
All right, I need y'all to explain me something. Because the housing market is doing something right now I've never seen before in my life. People are not just renting out apartments anymore. They're renting out rooms like storage units. And not like no normal roommate situation. Nah, we're talking about $1,200 for a bedroom. Inside someone else's house with 47 rules. No guests, no loud music, no cooking after 8, no overnight visitors. And in one listing I saw, it literally said no using the living room. Like, hold on, if I'm paying rent, I can't even use the living room. What am I renting? A storage unit with Wi-Fi? Here's the thing. This whole renting room situation just didn't randomly appear. Housing prices exploded, went crazy, mortgages went crazy, and suddenly people started to realize something. They can't afford these apartments by themselves anymore. So what did? They started to rent rooms.
Yeah, you could use the laundromat. And then I texted her about it later. She was like, oh, I spoke to my husband and we don't want to share the laundry. And after I moved in there, she put 2 new cameras into the living room, and it literally has a motion sensor. You can hear anytime I walk down the stairs or walk out. Like, what the fuck?
But the weird part is, the person renting the room usually acts like they're renting a hotel, except the hotel rules are really insane. Huh? Imagine checking into a hotel desk and the front desk worker says, welcome to your stay. Also, you can't use the kitchen. You can't shower after 9. And if you laugh too loud, we're charging you a noise fee. At this point, you're not even renting a room. It's literally, they're running a social experiment on you. Living with strangers as an adult is basically like joining a reality show. You move in thinking, oh, this would be cool. 3 weeks later, you're labeling your milk like it's evidence in a crime scene.
But I didn't know this was a big thing in my city. I'm talking big thing. You can literally go pay $700, $800 a month to go live in a room in somebody else's house. And I know sometimes it's out of necessity, but I just couldn't do it. I'd rather go live in the hood somewhere in a studio apartment for like $500 a month. I first found this out by one of my homeboys a few years ago when he told me he was living in a shared space and he's paying about $750 a month. I was like, okay, that don't sound super bad. It's like a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. He's sharing a bathroom with 2 other guys. It's like, I don't know about sharing a bathroom with somebody I don't know. I remember specifically him being mad one day and him showing me a picture of his bathtub. Somebody left a hairball in it. I couldn't deal with somebody else's hairball, dog. I don't know. And there's some other factors, like on a lot of these shared spaces, you can't bring anybody else over. You gotta share the living space with everybody else, and you gotta share the kitchen with everybody else. I remember my homeboy was telling me everybody was eating out every day. That is not healthy. Nobody cleaning up anything. I just couldn't deal with it.
Now let's talk about the rules, because these rental rules are insane. They honestly sound like you're applying to join the military. I saw one listing that said no cooking fish. Now I get it. Fish is smelly, you might be allergic, but still. What if fish was my favorite food? Now all of a sudden I gotta sneak salmon into the house that I'm paying for. Like it's a contraband or something. Another listing said no guest over. So hold on. Not even during the day. If I'm paying for rent, grown adult, I can't even have my friend come over. These sound like more prison visitation rules than anything.
Myself. But you are saving money most of the time. And sometimes it can only be temporary. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? Because realistically, rent is so high these days that some people don't have another option.
Apartment hunting, I find this listing okay, pretty cheap, like for a room, whatever. Toronto, like nice kitchen. Let me scroll. Okay, looks nice. Is that a mattress though? Like, what is that? Oh, is that a wall? What is that? Oh, that's my room. That's what you're paying for. $750 to be.
This is what we call
in the middle of
a shared space.
Like what? This is what it looks like when you close your door. Like.
Now hold on. This is the issue, because if I'm paying for $750 a month just to have this is crazy. I don't even have a real bed or anything. And hold on, you mean I'm paying $750 a month to live somewhere. I can't even have my cousin over. At that point, you're not even renting the room. You're renting permission to even exist. But here's the real issue. So when you rent an apartment, you have your own space. But when you rent a room, you're living in someone else's world. Their habits, their schedule, their expectations. And sometimes those expectations are crazy. Just imagine this situation. You get home from work late, you go to cook something, and suddenly the homeowner comes out like, hey, excuse me, we're not cooking after 9 p.m. Now hold on, you're an adult, so why do I have a bedtime for cooking? What if I got off late?
Bruh.
Like what? I paid to stay here and I can't even cook my own meals? Roommates would say stuff like, hey, can you not slam the door? Meanwhile, the door isn't even slamming, the door just exists loudly. Alright, let's talk about the roommates from hell, because let's be fair. Sometimes it's not the crazy one, isn't the landlord. Sometimes it's the crazy roommate. Everybody knows someone who had that one crazy roommate from hell. The roommate that eats all your food, the roommate who never cleans, the roommate who somehow uses every single dish in the house and leaves them all in the sink. See, that's the worst roommate of them all. And the one who says, oh, I'll wash them later, or I was just gonna get to it. The house is never clean, and later never comes. Those dishes are basically becoming history artifacts. I swear, everyone has experienced something like this. Everybody has had a weird roommate or a weird landlord. During COVID, we had this landlord, right? He was so crazy. He came to my house, turned off our water and our AC during COVID. Or even a weird rental situation. And when people hear those stories, they immediately start remembering their own experiences. That's why the comment sections on videos like these are insane. You'll see comments like, oh, my roommate stole my groceries. My landlord charged me for breathing. My roommate had a pet snake or a pet rodent in the kitchen. Now hold on, a hamster or a snake in the kitchen? Nah, that's not a roommate. We're recording a whole documentary in our kitchen. It's disgusting.
Who's neurodivergent, and I value my privacy. I value my own time. I have a social battery. It also makes slight jabs at me. When I was eating yogurt yesterday, she was like, don't let me catch you eating ice cream. What is that? And I was like, it's yogurt. And then a few days ago in the morning, after I'd made breakfast, I was eating chips. She's like, why are you eating chips in the morning? Just shit like that. Like, it bothers me, that commentary. When she's done cooking and done eating, she'll give her pots, pans, dishes, whatever to the dog to lick off before she puts it in the dishwasher.
Ew.
I'm not white enough for that. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
That's disgusting.
I scrub down my dishes, pots, pans, whatever, put them in the dishwasher after. Doggy is not getting to lick the pan. I'm gonna thug it out until end of March, and then I'm moving back into an apartment by my own. Another thing is, I feel like she listens in to me. And how I know is because y'all are gonna think I'm crazy, but she will mention things that I've said on the phone in my room to my friend, grandma, whoever.
Jesus.
She will mention things when she asks me at the kitchen table. I'm like, that's fucking weird. Why are
Super
you saying
weird.
shit that I never told you directly, but stuff that you heard me say in my room?
So the crazy part is the situation might actually get worse, because as rent keeps rising, most people will be forced to rent rooms, which means roommate culture is becoming normal again. Except this time we're not in college. Everyone has habits. Everyone's an adult. Everyone has boundaries. Everyone has rules. So now when you have 5 different adults living in one house, all trying to enforce their own lifestyle, that's not a home. It's a United Nations meeting.
Why is that any of your business? Someone left a comment saying she's like a monitoring spirit, and I cannot stress that enough. She really is, which is why I'm planning on leaving mid-March, if I can make it till then. She has a dog, and some of this dog's responsibilities fall on me. So when she's out of the house and I'm at home, I take dog out, I feed dog, I give dog treat. It's not that much, and I don't mind doing it, but respectfully, it's also not my dog. So she'll also make subtle hints at things that she wants me to do. It's like, oh, the trash is looking very full, which in my mind is like, okay, I'll take out the trash.
Take it out
let me
then. What
take
the
out
hell?
the trash. Which is fine. I don't mind. But
take it
then
out.
she said,
Complaining about
you
it.
ever feel like you want to shovel, the shovel is right there. So in my mind, it's like, okay, you're telling me to shovel the driveway too. She's like, oh, I have a list of things that need to be got from the grocery store.
Oh,
Subtly
no.
hinting that I should get those for her. No, ma'am.
No.
It's just not gonna happen.
So if you ever have to rent a room and there's a spot saying room available, make sure you read those rules very, very carefully, because sometimes you're not just renting a room. You're renting someone else's lifestyles, someone else's expectations, and someone else's rule book. And if the rules start sounding crazy, just remember something. There's always another listing somewhere. Hopefully one that doesn't come with a curfew and a cooking schedule. That is actually crazy. I did not know that y'all had these roommates from hell. I mean, I actually did, because a lot of people go through the same thing that we're talking about today. Anyways, if you're in one of these situations, best thing to do is stack your money, get away, and if you can't take it no more, you have to just dip. Go with friends or family if you have no one else. Just stack it up and you're gonna get through it, bro, I promise. If you like the new type vibe reaction, new vids, commentary vids, drop me a like, drop me a subscribe. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace. It's your boy Young Von.
Lighting up a new song, doing it so wrong. She throwing me her thong, I'm getting in my mode. Where you go so far?